Hey, wait! What are you doing here? That's right, you're not here yet, but you will be. And let the footage. Patrick Grant, howdy and hello, sir. How are you doing today? And get that camera just a little bit not so wild. Today we are not sponsored by Ziegenbach. That's right, I said not sponsored by Ziegenbach. I am also not sponsored by Central Market by HEB 100% pure young coconut water. And I am also not sponsored by HEB Orange Burst soda, established in 1905. And Mother Nature did not sponsor me with this 93 to 96 degree heat, high wind, and tons of humidity. I am not sponsored by Southern Draw Cigars, though I wish. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you. I am not sponsored by Disney in any way, shape, or form, but those of y'all who know who I am, well, y'all see that it's fitting. I am not sponsored by any pipe, cigar, or anything else maker. In fact, I'm not sponsored by anything other than, well, maybe the tolerance of my wife. And that's debatable as well. Her reply was raspberry. Don't know if you could hear it over the heavy winds. Though I will say that I'm responsible for pissing off my cat today. Ah, yes. That's not sponsorship, that's just responsibility. It is time for Trump's annual take him in, get him his shots, get him his lion cut. Well, he's a long-haired Himalayan cat in 90-plus degree weather. The long, heavy fur coat can't be comfortable. But you have to practically tackle him, get into a fight with him, stuff him into a cage, piss him off royally, drag him to the vet where then you leave him, they gas him, cut all his hair off, shoot him up full of chemicals, and then they make me pay for it. Okay. They made my wife pay for it this time. I'm going to be honest about that. But do you think the cat knows that she's the one that set up the whole thing, or that she's the one that paid for it? No. He only knows that my sorry ass is the one that drug all the way down over there to have it all done to him. Oh, and then last night we had to starve him from 8:30 at night until he got back here at almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm a little bit tardy-ish, sort of, right now, it was not the only thing I was doing today. I did a little bit of stuff. I even took the time to catch Eddie Gray on a live. Well, some of. I missed quite a bit of it. Stuff I had to do. I will say that I've been having a pretty good day, though. It's been a good day. I'm hoping, mind you, this is a hope, that somebody tells Martin out there with over a pipes. I'm practicing my Morty what is that? You know, like Frank Caliendo. Not ventriloquism. Impressions, yes. I'm practicing my Mortensen J. Crow impressions. I'm going to get pretty good at it, too. Maybe not totally, but I'm going to get pretty good at it. But I'm hoping somebody tells Martin at Over a Pipe that he needs to open that package I sent him before he chooses what to light up for the night. Don't show up at the show with something already lit, because he's just gonna end up pissed off. So Derek or Martin, if you're here, seriously, just do the Yabo first thing, get it over with. It's not that important. And then, well, you'll understand when you open the box. You should understand. I would understand. Everybody should understand. So, since somewhere in the middle of April, I've thrown a big, heavy refrigerator in the back of my truck. Got rid of that. Brought home some air conditioners. Got those installed. I'm going to load some up tonight. Take those with me to work basically tomorrow and get rid of those. I am not a heavy lift kind of guy anymore. It's hurting the back. Feels mighty tender. I know what I forgot. I forgot an ashtray. I'm okay. Just thirsty. That's why I brought 3 drinks for a 2.5-hour tailgate. Holly's looking at me like, 2.5 hours? That ain't happening. When I say you're done, you're done. Not true. She just looked at me like, You're the dumbass that's doing it. Coconut water. I acquired a taste for it a long time ago. But the one that I really like comes from Korea. Full of all kind of bad stuff for you. Sugar, this, that, and the other. But it's got these little pieces of gelatinized coconut in there. I don't know what it is that I love about that stuff, but man, I drink one down and it's like, ah. Coconut water is pretty good for hydration though, so it's not just about the coconut water. Remember, it's 90 something plus degrees out here right now. Not supposed to be this hot until July. I'm kind of predicting a very hot summer. It's not going to be good. But a good hot summer is just the thing to cure off a winter cold. Maybe even COVID. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I ain't guaranteeing nothing. So did the chat box stop completely? 'Cause it's not moving. Somebody type anything in there, if you can. Oh, I'll try it. Why not? Let's see if anything pops up. Well, the chat box is working, so okay. It's just not working right. Of course, there's only 3 of us in here. 4 if we. Chat is working. All right. Patrick agrees. Chat is working. Last week, I got to catch a little bit with Paul and Sharon. That was fun. High back. Better than a low back. Which is where mine's hurting. Low back pain. Hey, we're up to 7 suddenly. All right. It's always weird when you start a tailgate and it's like, anybody there? Ron Hardcrackers. Howdy, sir. Great to see you. You get this kind of weird feeling that maybe just nobody really wants to hang out. If that's the case, I mean, let's be real. I'm not twisting anybody's arm to hang out with me. 2.5 hours seems like a long, long time, but when we consider that I used to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, And now I'm just down to Thursday only. It's not really all that long. Just an extra hour. And it wouldn't have been, but somebody named Robert decided to move his show back an hour. No big deal, Robert. No, I don't see any reason to change my time slot. Unless somebody else wants it. Hey, if y'all out there in YouTube world wants my time, say so. That's it. It's that simple. I'll find a different time. Let's blame Robert. No, I'm not really blaming Robert. Robert had to do what's best for him. It's that simple. It's not that difficult to understand. When he was normally starting his show was directly in line with time that he wanted to spend with his family. I can understand that. Besides that, giving his daughter an extra hour to prank him, that's his own fault. Nobody's caring but Karen. Howdy, Everett. Great to see you, sir. It's just been a weird week. So I was going to go live from the Texas Cigar Festival last Saturday. But when I got there and I asked the committee of people that were running the event if that was going to be okay, they were like, no. They've got their reasons, and being that I work for the company and don't need to be stepping on toes, I said, okay. The last one I did any kind of video from was at 1960. In Houston, that's actually the name of a road. FM 1960. It's way around on the north side of town. And I paced off a certain set area. This time, it was at NRG Park on the green lot. There was 10 times as much space. There were 10 times as many people. And the amazing thing was there was only half the cleanup. Of course, there's nothing to clean up if they buy everything. Ain't nothing left to buy. Freak it, we're going home. Not true. There was still plenty of cigars left to purchase. But we'll be honest about it. It took 3 U-Haul trucks to get all the stuff there. And they were good size U-Haul trucks too. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. Hopefully everything's okay there in London. So it took 3 big moving trucks to get all the stuff there. And it only took 1 moving truck to get all the stuff that was left over back out of there. So yeah, they bought a lot of stuff. Pretty good event. They had a live band that knew more than just one genre of music. Heard them play some jazz while I was up there. And they played some country music. They played some rock and roll music. And I was like, man, this is pretty interesting to see something like that. Oh, Sharon, well, hopefully you're feeling better now. Sorry that you've been feeling sick. It probably started while you were having to put up with Paul. Just playing with you, Sharon. I know. You do that out of love. At least we think you do it out of love. Just for anybody who was watching, that would be a non-Doug elbow shot. And Jim, Desert Pine, in case you're out there somewhere, I am doing laundry. Right now, I'm really doing laundry. Of course, those of y'all who know Desert Pine, y'all know that's code for something else for Desert Pine. But I figured he'd get a kick out of it. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that, Sharon. I'm at least happy to hear that you're better now, but sprained ribs because you've been hanging on the toilet, not exactly a fun thing. Makes for tough breathing. Huh. Coast Guard helicopter. Trying to think of where they would be going.
The Gulf.
But they're going that way.
The lower Gulf.
Freeport, maybe?
Rockport.
No, they wouldn't be going to Rockport. Not that helicopter. Well, Sharon, I'm not sure that there's anything to be done for bruised or sprained ribs that way. If somebody knows what they're doing, they can wrap it really tight with like an ace bandage. But if they don't know what they're doing, they can wrap it too tight and do more damage. And on the other side of that, if they don't know what they're doing, they could wrap it too loosely and not be doing any kind of good for you anyways, other than restricting a little bit of your airflow. Holly says hello. She waves like this, with a cigarette in between two fingers. of course, Sharon had said hello to you. Now everybody's going, and she's going. And here, just to be different, I'm going. Oh wait, sorry. For those of y'all not in sporting events, maybe y'all don't know the wave. Interesting fact. In coliseums and stadiums and all that, the wave, no matter where it is, always travels at the same exact speed as every other one. Welsh Piper, good to see you, sir. Someone is smoking Haunted Bookshop today. Good seeing you, Welsh. Just remember, stay careful at work. No reason to get hurt. I am smoking a Romeo y Julieta 1875 Churchill. There's a lot of people that don't like this stick, and me personally, I think it's just a nice, relaxing, easy stick. Am I going to sit there and lie to you and say, oh my God, it's the best stick ever? No. I don't do those during tailgates. What I like during tailgate is what I would consider a non-thinking cigar. It's the kind of cigar that I would want if I want to watch a sporting event, or if I want to read a book, or if I'm watching the sun come up and hoping to get the perfect picture, or sunset, as the case may be, or out there set up a camera that's just waiting for that flash of lightning. Those are the kind of sticks I want for tailgate. Because I'm trying to more pay attention to the conversation than I am trying to pay attention to how great this cigar is. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Ron, that is at least a 2.5 mile wave. And I believe it's got to be longer than that, because the inside of the track, the inside one lap is 2.5 miles. So if they got the wave to go at Talladega, that might be 2 3/4 mile. I mean, come on. That is, you're right, that is one hell of a long wave. Huva Ilta Boris. Oh, brother, don't come to Houston right now. It is too hot. Too hot. I mean, I'm 3 drinking it today. Look, I tell you, I chugged that coconut water. It is too hot. Into the 90s. Now, do I drink the orange soda or the beer? Well, completely warm beer is kind of offensive to some people, so let's drink the beer while it's still kind of cold. Me talking NASCAR? Actually, yes, I can talk NASCAR. I'm fairly fluent in NASCAR. Ron, yeah, that's right. With multi-level stands, the people at the very back might have been a 3-mile wave. Now, I've never actually figured out the actual speed of the wave as it goes around a stadium or event. But scientists have actually proven that it always travels at the same exact speed. There is something about, there's only so fast that fat people can stand up and lift their arms and then sit back down. And that somehow it almost always works out to the exact same speed. Whether it be a baseball game or a football game or Talladega or just anything. Oh, the other interesting fact I found out just recently. Dogs have 42 teeth. Okay, I mean, I didn't really need to know that, but I did tell you I went to the vets recently, as in like today. I love it when they give me information I don't need or want, and then it's stuck in my head for the rest of my life. One day, about the same time I go senile, I ought to be pretty good at Jeopardy. Alright, I'm not as good as Chad. Chad knows things that on a ridiculous level. I'm kind of in awe of him. There's nothing wrong with knowing things. But when people look at me and go, oh, he's a know-it-all. Not even close. Not even close. I know lots of people that know lots more stuff than I do. Sometimes I'm just honored enough to have good conversations with them. That's the way it works out, right? So at some point, I'm going to have to try and figure out what cigar Robert would smoke. I know he doesn't like Latakia. But I'm going to have to go and find some of the blends that he does like and purchase those so that I can try and figure out where his palate is. Actually a lot of difficulty in that. Pipe smokers and cigar smokers are interesting. Cigar smokers tend to look down upon anybody who would smoke an aromatic cigar, you know, something that's infused. Howdy, Matthew. Great to see you, sir. Boris, I do know you like the Partagas D4. You like the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure number 2. There's a few others. I've had some really good Cubans in my time. And a few of them were cigars. Some of them were just a sandwich. but I like to eat too. I didn't get to be in this kind of shape without eating. Now the Monte Cristo number 2. Always a good choice. But you got to buy it from a really reputable dealer. Otherwise, you could be getting a fake. I've seen a lot of fake Monte Cristo number 2s. And I've seen a lot of fake Cuban Cohibas. Even some that were fake. And you could tell they were fake. Everything was right. Holograms were right. But instead of Havana, 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 Havana in the background of the hologram, there was Cuba, 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 Cuba. Yeah. Knowing what I was looking at, I was like, oh, this is fake. No, this ain't happening. Done. I have had some very good Cubans. But in my time, there's been a lot of study of real and fake Cubans. I've seen some real good fakes, and I've seen some real bad fakes. Easiest one to spot is if you ever are some other country other than Cuba, or even in Cuba, and you see that the Cuban cigars are sold in a small box with a plexiglass lid, you know that they're not Cubans. Matthew, the Dunhill line was pretty good. I didn't mind him at all. Oh yeah, the Cohiba Maduro, yeah, that's not a problem. That's made right there in the Dominican Republic. Though if I'm going to actually get a Cohiba, except for the Silencio, which you just can't get unless you are talking to Sean Williams, I think my next favorite is the Nicaraguan. And then surprisingly, the one down from that I like is the Connecticut. They've got a really good Connecticut. Light, flavorful. If it just wasn't at the price point that it is at, I would smoke a lot more of them. That price point for a Connecticut, though, is a bit steep in my opinion. Again, that's an opinion. That's not a statement of fact. They can sell them for that because they have a market that proves that they can sell them for that. And if I had Bezos money, I wouldn't give a damn. I'd smoke as many of them as I wanted. Oh yes, the La Aurora. See, the Robustos are good, but they have a Perfecto in a tube. And at some point, I'm going to have to go out and find specifically the La Aurora Perfecto tubos, just to show y'all what it is that I'm talking about. That's like the pinnacle of the La Aurora line, is those Perfecto tubos. They're all very good, very tasty. Patrick, I love LFD, but if their supply chain issues do not get fixed, they're going to go under. I work at 2 different stores that does not have anything from LFD right now. That would be La Flor Dominicana for anybody who doesn't know. And yeah, it's sad that I really don't have anything from LFD. Matthew, you can get Dunhill cigars from collectors, but you're going to pay. It's like McClellan. When Dunhill decided to get out of the tobacco business, and Peterson has not made any of those cigars, so they're done. Oh yes, Andalusian Bull. Patrick, not that everybody likes a Saison or a Saison beer, but that particular cigar pairs so well with a Saison beer or a Saison beer. It depends upon how you want to say it. I don't care, but the spelling is pretty much very close to how I pronounced it 2 different ways. But it pairs very well with that kind of a beer. The Don Tomás Maduro Presidente or Robusta. Everett, that's a surprise because that cigar has almost no strength. And you actually like the Henry Clay Statesman. I guess the last Henry Clay that I really liked was the Warhawk. But I think what I liked about it most was the price. Patrick, it's a style of beer, not necessarily a specific maker. But one of the beers I know that pairs well with it specifically would be, you can look it up as Megadeth beer. Boris, yes, the number 6. I do believe you would like the number 6, and I'll have to get you one somehow. Somehow, some way. Ah, Everett. Okay, I understand. So the cigar was available where you live, and it was still priced well enough that you were willing to take a shot on it. Understood. But, yeah, it sticks out as crazy that you would enjoy them as light as they are compared to what you smoke for pipe tobacco. I would have put you on like a Romeo San Andreas or a LFD Double Ajero or the Triple Maduro Camacho. That's where I think that's the cigars I think Everett would like. Oh, yes, and pretty much anything from the punch line. But again, if I was picking cigars for Everett, I'd go with whatever makes my head feel a little bit like I'm jello neck head bobbing and just barely getting through the day. In case y'all don't know the reference of jello neck head bob, that's that spot where you're falling asleep and your head keeps bobbing forward and you're like, oh yeah. You see it happening to people in cars all the time. Well, if a cigar can make you do that, then I think it's probably just about strong enough for Everett. €9.40 for the Toro? That's a damn good price, because that's what I would pay American, or really close to what I would pay for it in American. That's like maybe a 10-cent markup, maybe. Matthew, Toscanos are nothing like dark-fired Kentucky pipe tobacco. They're just they're a light, easy stick. Nothing special, but nothing horrible either. Of course, when you're talking the Toscano Classicos, right, Boris, y'all are normally paying 30% to 50% more than I am here in the United States, and I'd be surprised if that's even 10% markup from what I'm paying for here in Texas. So yeah, you might want to go ahead and grab one of those next time you're there, if you see them. And it'll have a long black band, and it will actually have number written out, and then the number 6. So it's not #6 or something, it's number 6. Now see, this is where I'm going to agree with Everett. Everett is correct in his statement. They aren't like dark-fired pipe tobacco at all. In my opinion, they are good. Absolutely. Oh, the shop is not in Finland. Oh. Well, you're not paying much of a markup for wherever that shop is, Boris. It would cost me more to get you the stick than it would to buy the stick. Just to get it to you from here, I'm going to have to pay double. At least. Look, I'm not trying to I am not trying to change anybody's opinion upon a cigar. If they feel that a cigar is good, then it is a good cigar. But palate speaking, as in what your taste buds say, hey, this is a good cigar. And going by what I've heard most of the rest of us speaking of, cigar-wise and tobacco-wise through pipes, I was like, that just seems like a really odd choice for someone who smokes a certain pipe tobacco to enjoy this stick. It would be like someone who only smokes Englishes, or, you know what, let's just make it easy. It'd be like Mike saying he's no longer smoking a Scudo because he's finally smoked an acid. You're never going to hear him say that. Just trust me, you're never going to hear him say that. His pipe blend is a Scudo. His cigar blend is Padron. I can see how that correlates. Oh, Everett, yeah. Some of those outside of normal growing regions cigars are just really, really, well, they'll slap you around a little bit. But a lot of it is, I'm not sure that they're not doing things like putting Perique in their mix. See, Ligero is a little bit milder in strength than Burley or Perique. D4s are only 12 euros there. All right, well, don't get the number 6s unless you can't afford that one extra number 6, and then you're just like saying, okay, I don't get the number 6s unless you can't afford that last D4, and you're saying, you know what, put that one back and I'll take a number 6. But they're similar enough in flavor that you're not going to be super pissed off that you got the number 6. Uh-oh, there's Martin. Hey, Martin. Seriously. First, howdy, sir. Great to have you in. Second, do not light anything to smoke before you open that box. You'll understand when you get the box open. You might want something that's in that box more than what you've got lit. Oh, that means you're going to be drinking Eagle Rare too. In fact, Martin, if you felt like opening the box, you don't have to do it on your live show. It's fine. I don't need to Yabo to prove. I mean, I'll know where you got it from. And you're going to want to show off something that's in the box anyways. I know you will. Because I thought it was awesome too. And then I realized I'll never use it. And that's why figured I would pass it along. Well, good thing you're going to open it this Friday, because I know you got it last Friday. It was probably sitting in the mailbox all day. Nope, nobody would even go out there to check it. I need to get James Stumbo in here to give you a hard time about that, because he does a good job at trying to guilt trip you on this stuff. He even hits me with it. Oh, but that's all right, Martin. It's fine. But knowing what's in there, I know what's in there. I didn't want you to just leave it out there in a hot mailbox for a week at a time. You might have wanted to bring that in. Well, I don't know. Amazon might be delivering more stuff to my house. Like right now, they just pulled up right in front of my driveway. They might be delivering to the people next door or across the street. It happens. Oh yeah, yeah. There's no doubt that the Stumbos are great. Man, I love watching them on Tuesdays. Lately, my schedule's been all kind of messed up, and I haven't gotten home until after they're already closing it out. It's all right, Martin. You could have lied. It'd be fine. Howdy, Odie. Great to see you. Oh, and it's been a slow week. Yeah, yeah. Someone throw a bottle at Odie. No, don't do that. He'll catch it and have it filled with bourbon by the time it hits the ground. Just the truth. Well, Amazon didn't deliver to me. They pulled away. Yay. This time. I already got 80 pounds of boxes from Amazon today. I don't need another. Shit, just bring them all at once, or don't do it, please. Had a pretty good day at work the other day, but I had to travel up to the north side of town to work that day at work. Ah, okay. That's fine. I mean, people in Ohio like to say stuff like O-H-I-O. They believe in the Buckeyes more than they believe in the red, white, and blue, but just saying. Except for those people in Cincinnati, they tend to believe in the Bearcats. Of course, the Bearcats did pretty damn good this last year. Okay, right up until they walked into that last game and got completely blown out. But that was going to happen. Martin's over there talking to his wrist. Go, gadget wrist. Yeah, Boris, I'm not speaking about the Bengals. Yeah, but no. Sorry. And how about their baseball team, which has no name? Oh, wait, it's the Guardians. Good old cancel culture doesn't even know why they were actually called the Cleveland Indians. Oh, that's right. Cincinnati has the Reds. They haven't done anything major since Pete Rose. I think Odie just decided to quit watching and probably threw a bottle at me. Everett, do not run in the shower, though. It's a good way for slips, trips, and falls. Get your shower. I'll still be here for another hour and a half. Or pretty close to. I wanted to show y'all a picture of my cat that got himself a lion cut today. Oh, that's right. My cat's feeling shame. Because my wife called up there and she said she wanted the UGG cut, you know, from the elbow down to be still full of hair. And I was like, give him the paw cut, you know, just from the wrist down, not the elbow. If you don't understand UGG cut, that's the one where he looks like he's wearing UGG boots, which are just plain ugly, in my opinion. So now all the other three cats are probably laughing at my cat. That's just all there is to it. Wait, did I miss it? Cedric, howdy, sir. Great to see you. I did miss people coming in. I'm sorry about that. Now, Martin. No need to call people names. Unless it's me. Lord knows I call myself names. You don't believe me? Just go watching the Over a Pipe show this coming Friday. You will hear somebody's voice go, I'm King Dingling on this thing. I think it's hilarious. Howdy, Horatio. Great to see you, sir. Oh, and by the way, the soundbite I had before I'm King Dingling on this thing was, it gets pretty easy after you roofie the first 3 or 4. I about fell out of my chair the first time I heard that one, laughing. Oh my God, that was funny. But Martin strives to keep it entertaining and family friendly. Somehow he has sound bites of me all over it, so I don't know how family friendly he's trying to keep it. But, you know. Odie, I am looking for rare breed, but not the rye. I can get rare breed rye like it's flowing from a water fountain down here. I cannot get regular rare breed for shit. But don't send it to me. I'll get to it eventually. I have a friend that has the whole Blanton's lineup. He started with the whole Blanton's lineup when basically when they first come out, and they had the little horse on the top. He's big into horse racing, and he recognized exactly what horse that was. And he said, fuck it, I gotta collect these. So he got his whole set before it became extremely popular. It was popular, don't get me wrong, but before it became extremely popular, and yes, I actually like Wild Turkey Rare Breed better than all the other wild turkeys. And I've had all the other wild turkeys, including some of those that are extremely expensive. I might not have had the whole bottle of it, but I've had it. Just like Pappy Van Winkle. I've had it. Maybe not the whole bottle, but I've had it. If I had to choose between Wild Turkey and Pappy Van Winkle, my taste buds say Wild Turkey is better. But hey, it's not like my taste buds are any good. I only know about cigars and stuff. I wouldn't know a damn thing about bourbon or beer or anything else. Martin, Pappy Van Winkle is good. And depending upon how much money you like to throw around, you can really, really get a good one. But I think you could save quite a bit of cash and get something that's equally as good that is not Pappy Van Winkle. No shopping carts allowed. I think what we really should send Martin is some Old Crow. Just for Morty. I can only imagine what Morty would say if somebody handed him a full bottle of Old Crow. It would probably be somewhere on the verge of hilarious. I think it would be funny anyways. What I was supposed to tell you. I do have a really weird sense of humor. Oh yes, Boris. There is Old Crow bourbon. The sticker on the bottle looks like a crow sitting on a branch. Oh, I'm about to get mail. Not yet, though. So I had a fun conversation with a guy the other day. He came in for a quick cigar at the shop I was working. And he tells me, I've only got time enough for a quick cigar. I gotta go to jury duty. And I looked over at him and I was like, you know, I know how to get out of jury duty, but I've never really been all that excited about going to jury duty. Jefferson aged at sea. Yes. I've seen the bottles and I've seen the price tag on the bottles and I've just gone like, you could basically artificially do that. But, I mean, I guess with it sloshing around in a charred oak barrel, it would give it a little bit more of a deeper color. And it would transmit a lot more of that carbon into the alcohol at some point. Numbers 18 through 21. All right, well, Martin, I'll take a look next time I go up there. Hell, there's only about 5 different shops within 5 miles of my house. Most of them I could get a decent cigar at. I might have to stick it in the humidor for a week or two just to make sure it's up to snuff that way, but it's not all that difficult. Not for me. and 15 minutes in, and I'm finally finishing a beer. I'm sitting out here in, I think it's down to 87 degrees right now. Oh, 85, sorry, 85. It has cooled off. I'm lucky. It'd still be too damn warm for Boris. But that's okay, because damn near all year long for Boris, it's too cold for me. That's all he'd be hearing from me. Well, Odie, if you ever decide that you're going to open up that bourbon bar and cigar shop, I might have to go up there and work summers or something. I don't know, maybe I can open up a hot pepper store somewhere real close by. Not like we know anybody that really likes hot peppers, right? '67. Yeah, Boris was in wife beater and Speedos, and I would have been in a pair of pants and well, hard to say whether it'd be just a t-shirt or a long sleeve t-shirt, but I'd have been more covered up than Boris, I'm sure. I know I don't deal well with the cold. I know it. I know I can deal with the cold, though. Cold's not really the biggest issue. Biggest issue is moving once I put enough clothes on that I can deal with the cold. End up looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Supposed to hit 80 degrees. Woo, Patrick. That's getting nice and toasty up there in New York. It should barely be edging into the 90s at this time of year for a regular year in Houston. But once it hits 90, it just never drops back down. If you got a 2-story house, you're practically running the heater downstairs and running the air conditioner upstairs, because all the cold ends up going down and all the heat comes up. It feels like it's 20 degrees downstairs and a surface of the sun upstairs. Not that I would know about that, right? Oh, well, at least you got a little bit of shade there, Boris. Yeah. That would be pretty good. Well, for a lot of people, it's not going to be fun. Houston during the summertime, which only lasts from May until November. And the worst month of all is August. Oh, yeah. When people start saying, man, it's hot down here, we just shake our heads and say, it ain't even August yet. That's how you could tell the natives, or the people who've been here so long they might as well be natives. I'm not actually a native Texan. Probably a reason why I'm a Raiders fan, right? Howdy, Steve. Great to see you, sir. Hopefully Miss Kathy's there and doing well as well. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see that y'all are doing well enough to be on. Actually, it's always good to see you, Steve and Miss Kathy. And I am fairly certain that Steve and Miss Kathy are having their own little nice toasty levels of heat up there in the Oklahoma area. When the thunderstorms aren't blowing through and flattening stuff. Oklahoma gets hot. I mean, at least here in Houston, I got a little bit of an ocean breeze from time to time. It does kind of keep it cooler. But unfortunately, that comes with a heavy dose of humidity. For people from drier climates, they just about can't show up at all because they can't breathe. We don't drink water here in Houston, we just breathe it. Better than earlier this week. Are you having issues there? Please, dear God, I hope not. Time to start drinking that soda there. This damn fly is getting on my nerves. Sorry about showing y'all my shorter than heck haircut. And my Superman curl. Look at there. I got a Superman curl. See if I can get it right. Nope. That's more like a squeaky curl. El Roberto Lancero. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Glad to see you, Robert. Yeah, I'll grow into the squiggy haircut. I hear you, Glenn. Good to see you. Sorry. Good day, Glenn. Great to see you, sir. Oh, yes. And it's all mine. This is not Hair Club for Men. I do have this stupidity spot right here that won't go anywhere. Must damn near be winter in Australia, though. So Glenn, just as a curiosity, if I was wanting a calabash bowl for a falcon pipe, something that I've heard somebody in Australia might know how to do, about what would that run roughly? I know that's not going to be cheap. I just want to know how many paychecks I got to save so that I can get me one. I've been thinking about getting one ever since I saw yours. Steve, we definitely got the same humidity then, because I've been 4 times emptying the upstairs dehumidifier. Heat and humidity goes up, but if I don't take it out of the house some way, shape, or form, damn drywall will come down. I know better. Yes. I saw Robert playing some songs for Glenn. I was wondering if he's going to try and put his Von Scott technique in there and maybe roll around on the floor and show off his inner Angus. You can do it, Robert. Yeah, 97 ain't fun. That's what it got up to here today. But this show started after the temperature had already started to decrease, so the McClellan song. Uh-oh. I will say that you're very musically talented. I only wish I could play the guitar that well. I tried playing guitar. I have no talent for it. It's like my hand wants to go the wrong direction. Okay. Got it, Glenn. Okay. Not a problem. I just figured if you had a roundabout number that you could quote me, I would know how much to continue to save. So I'll just keep continuing to save, and eventually I'll have enough that I'll be really able to say, Glenn, I have enough. But in the meantime, I'll be able to get a fill. That'd be a Rivara. And a Mouton, and a Beans, and an LCS. And, well, there's a few others. Jack Ryan's pipes are coming along. Howdy, Philip. Great to see you, sir. Just talking real good about you, too. So that's awesome. And a K Woody and an Ezekian, and yes, there's plenty of pipes that I would like to have. And for anybody who's interested, no, I'm not accepting them as gifts. I want to do it for myself. Glenn, there is that idea that I probably would enjoy a Phil Calabash more, except I have the stem for a falcon, and I have not been able to find a bowl that I really liked for it. And when I saw yours, I was like, okay, I gotta at least, at some point, I either gotta figure out how to make it myself, and I've already figured out that's not gonna happen, or I gotta get someone to make it. I don't have the talent, nor do I have the machinery or the tools. And yes, I'd like to get an Eric Weaver. There's been 3 or 4 that he's made that I have been just like, oh, I want that pipe. And then by the time I've even said it, he's already quoting that it's sold. And in case y'all are wondering why I'm not telling y'all which ones, it's because I figure if I tell anybody, then they'll sell all of those out before I ever have a chance to get one. Well, Glenn, previous of shipping, how much would the Bulldog Bowl be? And no, I'm not looking for cut rate, not because I talk well of you or that we're friends. At least I think we're friends. We're at least on friendly terms. $80 shipped. That's not bad. I might have to see what I can do about that. Howdy, Derek. Great to see you, sir. I mean, the Falcon pipe is great, but if you don't like the bowl, and therefore you never smoke it, is it really all that great? Robert, they're interesting, but if you live in a high humidity area, you kind of want to think about a different pipe. At least this is what I've found. Because no matter how good you dry out your tobacco, it's still going to gurgle. Because when it hits that, basically it's a cooling chamber, it will literally just be like condensation almost immediately. Cedric, I've smoked a turkey. You smoke a turkey in a paper bag. You don't need a lot of smoke, but if you're going to smoke a turkey, paper bag's the way to go. Derek, I'd never use that ring because it gets so soggy that it ruins the flavor, in my opinion. But that's here in Houston. I'm not trying to convince anybody that they're wrong or right by smoking it. I'm just saying that I tried cutting my own out of some extra fluffy pipe cleaners, and they worked better, at least than what the Falcon pipes were. Yeah, the dry rigs, they don't do a damn thing for me. And I only used the ones that came with the pipe just long enough to figure out that they didn't do a damn thing for me. But I did use, like I said, I cut up a couple of extra fluffy pipe cleaners and used those. And they worked better, but they still didn't work well enough. I guess like what Phil said, put some kitty litter in there and maybe that'll work. And realistically, it heats up kind of like a clay pipe does, so you got to be a little bit particular on where you hold a Falcon pipe. Oh, come on, Cedric. That'd be half the fun. Straight from the litter box right into your pipe. Guaranteed whatever blend you got tastes like shit. Welcome back, Everett. Great to see you, sir. That is true that they do take a definite beating. And if you have 2 or 3 bowls, you can pop one out, slap another one in, and you're ready to go. Robert, you're correct. Cobs do smoke quite well for a truck pipe, though Australians don't tend to like them. I did think of Glenn earlier today, though. There was a small moving van that went past me that was advertising, what was it? Star something Australian liquor. Or maybe it was Australian whiskey. Thought about following them to see if I could get a bottle so I could figure out how it tastes. It's all good. I mean, Glenn's allowed to not like Cobs. It's fine. Come on now, Robert. Those are fighting words. It ain't even Australian. Back in the day, Zigzag was way better than Foster's. Ugh. By the way, Robert, did you ever meet up with Philip's cousin or nephew? Phil, is it cousin or nephew? Doesn't matter. The one with the restaurant. Howdy, Mike. Great to see you, sir. Man, we've got all the royalty in here today. Where's Chad? Need the Baron of Briar. Or, no, sorry, the, what was he? The Baron of Burley, or... Go on, Mike. You're not a pain. You've been in pain, but you're not a pain. You've spent such good times teaching us all your good knowledge. Come on. So the other day at my shop, there was a guy talking to me about watches. And he was like, yeah, I got this friend. He's got like a full 7-day set of Omegas. I was like, yeah, Omegas are pretty good watches. And he kept saying, oh, yeah, this guy's got so much money, it's ridiculous. And I said, well, you let me know if he's got a Dufour. He looked up the price tag on Felipe Dufours, and he said, oh, hell no, he ain't got that kind of money. Mark, are you censored again? It's ridiculous. Glenn, I'll stick to whatever time my phone says it is. It is 6:47 in the Central American time zone right now. Old story. It comes from being an electrician. You never wear a watch because you were always having to take the damn thing off. Royal Oak Offshore. I've heard of them, but I've never seen it. Oh, Charles Bronson wore them. Okay. Then maybe I have seen it, but just didn't realize that's what it was. Wait, Everett's not going to light up more haunted bookshop? How could that be? Come on, Everett. Changing horses in the middle of the stream. Octagonal bezel. Okay. See, even Ron's smoking haunted bookshop. Yeah, 15K, you could have a watch or a car. And Patrick Smoking Haunted Bookshop, come on! Everett, you're letting down the whole crew. I'm smoking a cigar, hanging out with the YTPC. Well, they've tried to censor me a few times, and the last time they tried to censor me, they released it the next day when I plainly straight out said, look, I'm not suggesting to anybody what's going on is right or wrong. Everybody gets to make their own choices, and that's just the way I feel about it. And yes, I agree that windows down, flying along is a damn good air conditioner. I like that other version of 265 AC. 2 tires on the ground and no windows anywhere around me. Of course, last time I rode one, lost a kneecap. Yeah, that humidity's been kindly blatantly killing me too. That's why I'm currently considering this bag of Mountain Cow. Because I know it's dry enough to be crispy. And it's about the only way it's not going to be gurgling. Good Lord, Phil, you're trying to kill the man. A Mark V dive helmet. Weighs what, about 80 pounds? Solid brass. Well, Mark, don't be a stranger. Unless you just don't feel like being here on the YouTubers. As we know, I've often enough called it useless tube. Yeah, Phil, plus or minus 80 pounds, give or take a couple of ounces, no big deal. Wasn't that one of the first dive tests that you had to do if you were going to be a Navy diver is you had to walk 12 paces with a full dive rig, which weighed about 200 pounds. Ron, I loved the little wing windows back in the day. You could turn them one way and the wind would come in nice and brisk, or you could turn them just a little bit out and smoke without the cab filling up. I am collecting a whole lot of these little sleeves that work really well with Zippo lighters. If anybody might be thinking they would like one, I could probably put it in a single envelope with a stamp on it and get it to you. Head, neck, knees, back. Walking around with an 80-pound weight on your shoulders. That's just Phil being Phil. Yeah, I know, it's me. Look, Glenn, it's a cob. It's not carbon yet, but it's getting there. I figure I can make 30 minutes till Robert's show. Got to spend my little bit of time with Karen, you know. He didn't give up his habit of cobs. He just likes the Asikian a whole lot more. And who's to blame him? Mark, I wouldn't mind you putting a link in chat, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able, if it will let you. And right now, because I'm streaming from the Prism app, for the most part, I can't even do anything with it. Well, Patrick is a mod, so well, let's see what I can do about that. Go into the YouTube. We're going to end up with some doublespeak. YouTube, we're going to end up with some doublespeak. Let's see here. YouTube, we're going to end up with some doublespeak. Go up here. Let's see here. YouTube, we're going to end up with some doublespeak. Oh, look there. Let's see here. YouTube, we're going to end up with some doublespeak. Let's see here. YouTube, we're going to end up with some doublespeak. And turn that back off and come back. All right. The Nomad has been added as a moderator. Mark, you should be able to post a. You should be able to post a link. So anybody who wants to go to that, if y'all are wanting to find it later, remember that was posted at 1:56, 1 hour and 56 minutes in. I'm good with it. No, I am not about to try yodeling with some double speak going on. No. I'm not about to try yodeling to begin with. My singing voice is much closer to Dave Mustaine than it is to yodel. But hey, that'll also take you there to Rumble. But Mark, I'll check it out. Well, I guess shortly after Robert gets off. I mean, I know most everybody only shows up to my shows to see if I'm going to light my head on fire with something super spicy or hang out long enough to get to the next show, which now tends to be only on Thursdays, so that's Robert. But I do tend to like the ones where I practically light my head on fire. And then I get all these interesting comments later, like, my wife saw you do that. She said she's going to call 911 if you do that again. I don't even know who said it, but it made me laugh. Careful, Phil, you're going to have Robert on there singing Only the Lonely. That's about all I know of that song, so yeah, I'll stop there. You're welcome. And Robert can't be that lonely. He's got Karen. Mark, believe me, I agree with you that there is some things that YouTube does that is completely off base. There you go, Phil. So y'all remember, if I look all scarred up like I've been through a meat grinder next week, don't worry. That's because I had to take the cat to the vet today and got him that lion cut, and he's pretty pissed off with me, so it just kind of is. Yeah, I play right around on the edges of the rules of YT or of the YouTube. But they know if they cancel this one, I'll just add an email, load up a new channel, and be like, to hell with it. I'm gonna really piss you off. Oh yeah, there's definitely issues with elections. My craziest issue is, or at least the thing that I saw most recently, Obama and Biden were both at the same event. And everybody was flocking to Obama. And Biden's sitting there like, hey, I'm president. Nobody even wants to talk to me. It's like, really? What's up with that? Hey, it's just something that I noticed. Phil, you saw it too then. You saw what I saw. It was like people would just walk past Biden. He'd put her hand out to shake a hand, and they wouldn't even acknowledge that the hand was out. They'd pass right past him and go over to Obama being like, who's that guy? I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to Obama. All right, so I'm not the only person that saw that on live TV, so if anybody wants to doubt me, you just go back and watch what was shown on live TV, and it was strange, to say the least. You can make up your own decision on what was really going on, but if you saw it live and you weren't going like, what in the heck? Then you weren't really paying attention, at least in my opinion. Well, Phil, you converse with him by walking up with a bowl full of corn pops. Steve, you might be extremely correct about Mark having a lot of computer problems brought on directly from YouTube. No, Phil, it's got to be corn pops. Because remember, he talked about when he was younger and some dude named Corn Pop decided to start some smackdown at a pool, and he decided to do something about it. Yeah, he was a fighter. Sure. I got a granddaughter that's not even 1 year old yet, and I think I'd put money on her taking him if it came down to that. But hey, is what it is. And as I've told too many people to count, until it has been proven otherwise, if you're an American, he is your president. If you want to say unfortunately, okay, I can agree with that statement. If you want to feel good about Biden being the president, that's fine too. I don't care. But right there on the other side, I saw all those same people that want to be all feel good about Biden that were telling all these people, Trump's not my president. Well, if he's not your president, then you're not an American. So therefore, your opinion of what goes on in American politics really didn't matter to me. I see what you did there, Phil. Nicely creative. And Mark, I saw that as well. That's come through on 5 or 6 different feeds that I've seen, so I looked it up already. Oh, they'll put a spin on it and figure out a way to turn it into something good for them. I mean, politics is basically a game. Politicians get into the Senate or Congress, and what they do in the stock market turns them from a $200,000 person to an $8 million person in the space of one term. Any of us regular Joes do that, and they're trying to throw us in jail for insider trading. And that's both sides of the aisle. Let's not point out just one side or the other. If you can figure out what stocks senators are buying, and you can get in and buy at the same time as them, you'll probably make millions. Oh, they're going to investigate Elon Musk now. Yeah, that makes sense. Mark, I think it's more about just outvoting them or voting them out. It's a better way to say it. That's why I try to vote term limits. Oh, look, you've been in office long enough? Yeah, okay, time to put somebody else in there. I mean, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's a long... was stated that way so long ago it's ridiculous. And I think one of the biggest problems that people tend to have is that they walk in and they hit either the R or the D, hit the handle and walk out. I mean, there's good and bad in both parties. And sometimes you might not like having to vote for that candidate that you might not like, but sometimes the alternative of keeping someone who's worse in office is just not worth it. Well, that's true, Mark, and that is also true, Phil. And as far as the polls go, I don't really believe any of the polls unless it's an actual Polish person. You can call certain area codes in Texas and get nothing but Democrat votes. And you can call certain areas in New York and get nothing but Republican votes. They know who they're calling before they even call to make those polls. Well, you say you can't outvote a fixed system. But if everybody decided to start voting for term limits, there's no way that they could cover all of that up. That's fairly true, Phil. That is fairly true. That's why I always preach. Research. Research the issues. Yeah, if it's on the news, sure, but research it. Maybe it's not exactly what the news is saying that it is. Howdy, Stamper Tamper. Great to see you, sir. And, you know, it's not just one country, it's all of them, like you said. And Mark, that is the first absolutely true statement that always comes to mind for me. Back in the days when Japan thought about invading America, and they said there'd be a rifle behind every blade of grass. other whole governments feared the American people. Well, maybe it's about time that the United States government got to that point as well, instead of just stomping the hell out of us and being like, well, whatever. You can't do nothing about it. Now, have I say we should go out and kill somebody? No. But if an armed population peacefully showed up on their front doorstep and peacefully protested for a redress of grievances, oh, sorry, that's directly part of something that we're allowed to do, I think they'd take notice. Oh, what are we going to do? We're going to call the cops. Well, yeah, half those people out there are cops. Now what? We're going to call the military. So you're going to admit that this is tyranny and not what it's supposed to be. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work very well. Phil, a lot of that is parents not teaching at home, instead letting that TV and that PlayStation and that Xbox be the teacher. That didn't work for me. I mean, sure, there was stuff like that to do as well. But there were those discussionable, teachable moments that also happened that were, hey, it's time to have that conversation. Yeah, I had a few moments where there were a few teachers that didn't like the fact that I could take a various day off every now and then and just be like, no, go ahead, I'm just auditing. Oh, look, here's the homework. Let me do the homework with my kid. You got about 7 minutes, Phil. Now, if Robert's live, someone let me know. That's what tailgating's about, is getting to the next show. Robert's is the next show, so when he goes live, I'm getting out of here. I'm heading to the Carolinas. Spend time with our very own karaoke superstar. All right, so he's not there yet. Oh, all right. It's all good, Phil. If you got stuff to do, I don't mind. Believe me, there's no requirement at all ever that you got to be here. Karaoke is a Oklahoma pallbearer. All right, that one has me giggling. I'll admit it. Very true, Steve. I always looked at it as you have a choice. You can raise a kid to be a kid, or you can raise a kid to be a fully functioning adult. I didn't want any of my kids to be like, oh, I have to depend upon mom and dad for everything. My son knew how to do stuff. And if I come across a teachable moment, even though he's now closer to 30, I still spring in on him every once in a while and, hey man, let's just have a talk, you and me, about whatever. Of course, those moments are getting fewer and farther in between because, well, he's an adult. He's got his own family now. And I'm pretty proud of him. He hadn't made half the stupid decisions I made. Well, Mark, if you're getting out of here, you take care, brother. Been great seeing you. Sorry to hear that TPI has been nuked again. They tried it on me too. What you're supposed to do. I mean, this ain't the only game going, you know. Lawn mowing trailer. It's damn near dark enough out here to not be mowing the lawn anymore. Oh, and there goes another one. If they both pull up in front of the same house, they might be able to have it done before it gets too dark to mow. Might be. I don't know. Uh-oh, 2 minutes to go. All right, so y'all remember, tonight we're going to be jumping over to ENA's dad. Tomorrow, sorry, again, no tailgate. I won't be in a place where I can really do a tailgate. But Matt and Cane Rod and, of course, Martin with Over a Pipe. I believe last Saturday was the last time we would see Steph and Skip till sometime this summer. But be looking for Flat Cap and Lady Fire. They are again putting out some videos as their time has permitted. I've missed a whole bunch of prayer meetings because I'm working on Fridays. Or Mondays. Sorry about that. Mondays. My work schedule's been hectic. So if y'all haven't been seeing me on lives, that's more about I'm pretty busy. But I am trying to catch as many of them as I can once they load up fully and I can follow along with the conversation. I think Bill from Briar Report said it well. Unless you can do what I'm doing here where the conversation ends up on the screen so it's really part of the show, it gets a little difficult to really follow along. That's right, Virtual Pipe Club is on Saturday at 2 p.m. I believe that's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, if I am correct. Any of the rest of y'all got a time spot where y'all normally are doing something? Go ahead, throw it in here. Chad's been doing some lives. That's been good to see. I mean, I'm not catching them as they're happening very often. Oh, and there's Robert. Robert has gone live. Proof that I do actually click on those notifications and try to get them as often as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here. It's been so much fun having y'all again. Hopefully the topics weren't too dark today, as sometimes they do get there. If they were, I apologize about that, but that's just what it is. All right. As y'all all should know by now, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. And as per always, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. Hopefully, I will see you soon. Thanks for being here, and bye for now. Go to ENA's Dad. See y'all soon. Right there.